Hey everyone, it's May and welcome back to my channel. In these study abroad reflection videos, I'm going to be going over every aspect of my time in Paris, France with ISA, the program that I studied with, from academics to travel to housing, you name it, to hopefully give you guys a better idea about what it's like to study abroad for those of you who are interested or who are already planning to go. Please keep in mind that my experience is very unique, even with my own program, because there are just so many different options for what you can do while you're there. I hope you guys enjoy these videos and that they're helpful. Let's get into it. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about traveling while abroad, and this is a super exciting topic because I know a lot of people when they're abroad love to travel, because when you're in Europe or Asia or wherever you go, it's so cool because there are so many other countries right there, whereas in the US you basically just have Canada or Mexico or different states, and it's like much farther travel distances. And in Europe, when I was in Paris, I could take a 2-hour plane ride and get to so many different other countries. So I'm just going to be kind of going through the trips that I went on and like the different types of trips basically, and like what I like and dislike about different types of travel and like tips I have. Let's get into it. When you're abroad, it really depends on like how much money you have to see how much you can travel. Obviously, I feel like I traveled a pretty average amount compared to other people. Like there were some people that were like rich and like literally jetted off every weekend somewhere different, but like I personally liked having weekends in Paris too, because then it was just like time to like explore my city and stuff. But I took a decent amount of trips and I'm really glad that I did. There wasn't any that I disliked. There were definitely some that I liked more than others, but they were all great experiences that I'm really glad I took advantage of. And there are certainly ways to make travel cheaper if you are on a budget. Ryanair is a budget airline that is based in Ireland, but they like fly all over Europe. It's just you have to be really careful with like following the rules, like printing out your boarding pass, like making sure that your suitcase or your luggage is under their weight limit, because otherwise they'll start charging you because their tickets are so cheap. But Ryanair is like a good way to travel cheaply and like staying in hostels versus like hotels or Airbnbs and things like that. So yeah, there are definitely ways to make it happen, and I'm just gonna dive into my trips. I went to Paris knowing that I was going to go to Belgium, the Loire Valley, and Morocco, because those were organized within my program, and then I was just going to see like if I made friends and like how that would work like with other trips. And it ended up just being like within the first month of, I didn't really travel in February, I just like kind of planned trips in February and then went from there. So the first trip I went on was Rome with 3 friends for one of my friend's birthdays in early March. We took a plane, stayed there for a weekend. We ended up leaving Friday night and coming back Monday morning, because that's just how it worked with all of our class schedules. I know if you didn't have Friday class, you could obviously leave Thursday and come back on Sunday. That's what my roommate did for a lot of her trips, but just because we had Friday class, that's what worked out the best. And then that way we still had like 2 full days there, and plus the tickets were cheaper if you came back on Monday anyway. That was like a good trip. I had already been to Rome, but going back was really fun with like friends instead of family, just like kind of a different experience, changing it up a little bit. And we got to see the Pope, which I didn't get to do last time, and the food is amazing, so that was good. And then Belgium was next. That was with my program. I had also already been to Belgium, but I hadn't been to the cities we went to. I had been to Brussels, but I hadn't been to Bruges or Ghent, and that's where we went. We traveled on a bus, and we had like scheduled tours of like the town with tour guides and like a hotel booked and everything. We had a chocolate tour, a brewery tour, a bunch of stuff. So that was definitely a different experience, being with like a huge group of people and like having guides and having it be all organized, much different than being independent. Like there are definitely pros and cons to that. In the Loire Valley, it was again with my program and a bus. Loire Valley is like central France where all the chateaus are. So we just like took tours of different chateaus. We stayed in Tours, was our overnight city, and then we saw another chateau in the morning, walked around that town, and then came back. Barcelona was with friends. That was my biggest group of friends, I wanted to say. Rome was only 4 of us. Barcelona was 6 of us. Luckily we found an Airbnb that was big enough for that many people, and that was a really great trip. I always wanted to go to Barcelona, and like we just like jam-packed stuff into those 2 days. The one thing that I'm still bitter about is that I didn't get the picture I wanted at Park Güell because I didn't know that you had to get tickets ahead of time. But yeah, whatever, it's okay, I'm gonna go back because I want to see like so many other places in Spain. Then Morocco was with my program. It cost extra, but it was like you can go on this organized trip if you want, but you don't have to basically. So we like had to sign up for it and pay in advance. And then, I mean, it was with like Spain's ISA, Valencia program. They were the ones that like organized it. So the people coming from Paris, like we had to like book our own flights and stuff. They all flew together, but we flew separately. And then all the hotels were arranged, even all the meals were arranged. And like you already prepaid for all that. And in Morocco, I think most of all, I was like so happy to have like guides and like an organized group because I wouldn't have wanted to try to do that by myself. So that was really great, and I have my vlogs on that. I think I've vlogged almost all these trips if you want to look at them. Then Amsterdam was right after Morocco. I went with my parents. We took a train, and that was a really great trip, and that was nice because they organized everything too. I had literally always wanted to go to Amsterdam, and especially after watching The Fault in Our Stars, I like went and like looked for like the little landmarks, like the bench and stuff, so that was fun. And yeah, it was just a beautiful city. I loved the canals and everything. We saw the Anne Frank house, which was something that I've been really interested in, and that was really awesome. So that was that one. And then my last trip was Nice, which was right after Amsterdam. And it was just because we had a holiday that Wednesday of school, and I didn't have class Tuesday, so I went Tuesday to Thursday and came back like in the morning on Thursday. And I had originally been planning on going with my friend, and then the circumstances changed and she couldn't go, and I was like, oh my gosh, like do I even want to go? Like I'm so tired. I've just gotten back from 2 like consecutive trips basically. Like I could just stay here. And then I was like, I've already paid for the train ticket. Like what am I gonna do? Just let it go to waste? So like I talked to my parents, and they had originally said no solo travel, but they were like as long as you check in with us, it's okay. So like it was great. I just like texted them at certain points. Oh my gosh, it was an amazing trip. The first day I got there, I was like really freaked out because I was alone and I had to check into my hostel and like figure all that out. And I thought that I had paid for the hostel, but I hadn't, and I had to pay for it in cash. And so then I didn't have very much cash left, and it was like, I was really freaked out, and it was just, I didn't know the city at all. And then the second day was so amazing. Like the full day that I had there, I just walked so much, spent so much time just alone with the ocean. I hiked Castle Hill, saw the amazing views, took the bus down to like a Greek villa and took a tour kind of like down everything's on like cliffs when you take the bus from Nice, and so it's like on top, and I just kind of like wandered down into the town of Villefranche and like kind of came back and then took the bus from there. It's kind of hard to explain, but like I love that area. Like I want to go back so badly. It was just so peaceful, and I loved being by myself while I was there. It was very, very relaxing and very just like, it was just good for the soul. I don't know, but that trip's always gonna have a special place in my heart. I actually brought back a couple of like the pebbles from the beaches because they're made of pebbles, not sand, and so I can just like always have a piece of that trip with me. So I would say for pros and cons of organized travel versus like traveling with friends or solo travel, like it's obviously just definitely nice to have things planned for you, so like you don't have to worry about booking anything, like not flights, not hotels, and like not activities. Like it's all done for you. You don't have to think, you just show up. But it got a little annoying to like constantly be moving around in this gigantic group and having certain times to meet places. Like when my friends and I were like exploring and want to do things, it'd be like, wait, no, we can't, we have to meet back here at 3, you know, whatever. So that just got a little annoying, but I'm glad that I had like both experiences. I mean, solo travel is kind of a different animal altogether, because traveling with friends, yeah, you're like planning the stuff and booking the stuff and you have to like be aware and think of stuff, but when you're on your own, that's heightened so much. And I hadn't even planned on doing a solo trip. Like I really didn't think I could do it. Like if something happens, there's no one there who's gonna help you. That was like in the back of my mind the whole time. I was like, if something happens to me, if something goes wrong, I have no one here. That part was a little freaky, but at least I did it in France. Like it was somewhere where I knew that I could speak the language and like get my way out of a situation if I needed to. And then just other trips that I have for traveling in general are to plan as much as you can in advance, like book your plane tickets as far ahead as you can, like research what you want to do and make sure that you have tickets ahead of time, because a lot of times now when you get to a city, you can't buy tickets there. Tickets are all online and they're going to be sold out by the time you get there, and that's just really disappointing if there were things that you wanted to do. If you don't have service where you're going to be, try to download maps before, like on City Mapper or whatever. Like I had reception everywhere except Morocco because I had a French SIM card which worked everywhere in the EU, which was super nice for using Google Maps, but keep that in mind if you're going somewhere where you're not gonna have reception. And then kind of on the flip side of planning everything out is like, be prepared for things to not go as you planned them, because like things are gonna be closed, there's gonna be construction, there's gonna be like changes of hours, there's, you know, like weather, just things happen. And so if you have like this super tight plan of everything you're doing and then something goes wrong and it disrupts your whole trip, just like be open to like things changing. I don't know, hopefully this makes sense. Like definitely do your research, book stuff, but then be flexible when you get to wherever you're going. Like that picture that you wanted or that place that you thought was gonna be a certain way, it's not gonna happen the way you picture it. At least for me is what I experience. Like especially if it's a place you've never been before, like even if you watch videos and look at pictures, it's not, you don't really know what it's going to be like. But yeah, anyway, that's my little travel advice stuff. If you guys have more questions, please leave them below and I'll definitely get back to you. Yeah, I'm glad I did so much traveling. It was great. I'm hoping that when I teach English abroad, I can see more amazing places, but for this year, I'm just super excited to get back into like a routine in my apartment and just be here for a while and not be like on the go all the time. Please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.